Good day, folks. Thank you so much for joining. Today we have with us Lubna Pathan. Came to Canada in the early 2000s, and then afterwards had been working in investment banking and then charted her career in Canada. So we'll give her the opportunity right away. So Lubna, if you can get started by telling us a little bit about yourself first.
So thank you, Sa. Thanks very much for having me here. Yeah, I feel really, uh, really good about like sharing experience. And I'm really proud of my achievements and the career path because I started off like my career, initial education. I was born and raised in Pakistan. I went to the university there. My father, he was settled in Hyderabad, so I went to same university, and then I started off my career in Pakistan after doing my MBA at Deloitte. And Deloitte, at that time, I had no clues what Deloitte is, what management consulting is. The best thing of my job, part of my job was that, like everybody was in quest of knowledge, acquiring more and more designation, learning new things. That was the best part because my dad is an advocate, right? Lawyer. So and he had we did not know what is a corporate, culture, corporate life would be. But I used to hear from my, friends and their dads stories that what you learn or study at a school, that has nothing to do what do you do at work. And that was very, very, terrifying kind of thing because I never wanted to lose my touch with the education. I wanted to have brains, not routine jobs. So I felt so lucky when I landed into this role, and from there I moved to the largest insurance company. I was part of the investment portfolio management team. I looked after Pakistan equities, and then I was managing their international portfolio uh, in New York, Dubai, and London. So that was interesting. And then I was like, oh, the fund managers in New York, especially, they used to send me very interesting, financial products. And I was like, in Pakistan, stock markets, we don't have anything, just the fixed income, like government bond. 85% of our portfolio was in government securities, and then 7 to 8% in equities. And I was like, oh, why don't we have like, and then I started to, uh, study those products. And then I started like doing my CFA. I wanted to be a financial engineer at that time. That was my aspiration. Okay, I wanted to develop new financial products, blah, blah, blah. But you plan something, but divine has planned something for you, right? And then I applied for this Canadian immigration. My intent was, why can't, like, I am doing this thing here, they are sitting in New York, they are doing much more exciting stuff. Why can't I be part of that team? So I applied for this Canadian immigration. It was like on fast track. I got it in 6 months. And then, it took me like some time to come to Canada. I came here, and like initially also I got very good job with my Pakistani qualifications, and I did not have to do any single thing new. And I got very good job. I started off my career in Canada with Bell Canada, right, as a financial analyst, and I was so happy. That was interesting job, but very different what I used to do it. When they selected me, they looked at two things. Okay, she worked at insurance company, and she must have experience of dealing with large database, and which was not true. But I did not say anything. I did so well on my job, and then while I was working there, I started to look for other opportunities and landed into investment banking in Canada. And that was a company. It was like a company that has offices in US, Pakistan, and Canada. And it was a very interesting experience working on M&A, global transactions. And then from there, I landed into private equity. And the interesting thing about my career path is every role I love it, and the next role is even richer and better. I fall in love with my, whatever job. Like before I get into the role, most of the time I did not even know like what it would be. I land into it and I love it, right? I love to learn new things, and then and one thing that I did throughout my career, I never stopped um, improving my skills, educations, and qualifications. That is, when we go to the next part of this conversation, I will talk about that more. And then investment banking, private equity.
Sorry, I was on mute. So, talking about the part about private equity that you talked. So, currently you are in private equity.
I am in investment banking, commercial and investment banking, right?
Okay, okay.
It is not exactly private equity, but they all like, very well aligned. As basically my role
So,
throughout
what
was
is
like,
what is one day in the life of Lubna Pathan right now? What happens from the day that you start to the day that you end? What happens?
so what happened in one day in my life? Like I start my recently, for last couple of years, I have started, getting up very early in the morning. I start my day with my like morning prayers, recitation, and then I start working right after. And during my breaks, I do, spend some time and following the market, and then do look at my portfolio and those things. And then in the evening after work, I try to, engage with some extracurricular activities like going to the gym, playing golf, and then I love to stay in touch with my friends and contacts and family. I spend some time with them also, like, you know, in the evening.
Yeah.
And then some studies. I spend some time in research and studying or doing something new.
Absolutely. No, you gotta stay in touch with everything that is coming up new for sure. And it's interesting that you mentioned golf, so that's an interesting habit or an interesting sport to be playing. One last
Yeah.
question though for you, Lubna, is that for those folks who are moving to Canada and want to pursue the career of investment banking, what would be your advice to them?
So my advice, like first piece is just believe in yourself, right? You have taken this big step for your personal and professional growth, right? So stay, but see, name of the game is when you make such a big shift and move in your life. Perseverance and resilience are the names of the game, right? You don't need to lose hope, believe in yourself. And then the other piece is, uh, stay humble and hungry, and then connect with right people even before coming here. Get as much knowledge as possible and try to learn about the resources that you have available here. For example, when I came to Canada, I did not know, maybe I was in rush, I did not do a lot of research on what are the resources available even from the government program. Like, leverage all those resources and you spend good time even before coming here to know about the right resources, and then find right kind of relevant volunteer opportunities, right? So that is my advice. Like three
Oh,
pieces,
absolutely. No, for
learn
sure.
new
Yeah.
things, be open minded, resilience and perseverance. Like in the end, you will, and right advice. Finding right advice becomes challenging at times in Canada.
No, for sure. That is for we've all gone through that. So, but anyway, thank you so much, Lubna, for taking the time out today to go through this. And I'm sure people watching would have found something useful. So, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you. Thanks.